Maddie. It's so awesome to see all these faces when I pop on. It's so exciting. Um, I know that some people are new to Zoom, and people are probably going to be loading in because if you're first time on Zoom, then you might not have already downloaded it. So people might be rolling in, and that's okay. But I'm going to go ahead and get started because this is recording, and I want to make sure that I am definitely making the best use of this time with you guys. Okay, so if you are new to Zoom, know that there's a chat window over on your right hand side. If you're on a phone, I think you have to like swipe the screen. You have to push the little chat button under the faces, under the Brady Bunch faces, and then that little screen will open up. So you're welcome to type in there, and anybody who I have a lot of coaches on here, so they might want to chime in, unmute themselves, but I do want everyone muted just because of background noise. It could be really kind of fuzzy with all these different feeds. But welcome to this 80-day obsession planning call. I am so excited to talk to you guys. I have been waiting for this for so long to be able to share this program with people. And I know a lot of you don't know me, so I'll do a real quick introduction. So my name is Megan Eggleston, and I am if you're on this call, then you are either a coach in our team, in Team Phoenix, or you are a customer, challenger, client, whatever you want to call it, of a coach on Team Phoenix. And I opened up this call to everybody because I happened to be in the test group for this program, meaning when Beachbody launches a program, they will select a group to test it out. We legitimately provided feedback, and our feedback actually helps shape the program. They get to see our results and see how different body types, different like breastfeeding, not breastfeeding, vegan, non-vegan, they get a really wide sampling, so they're able to shape this program best for everybody else, the public. Plus we get an awesome opportunity to sample something firsthand. So it was a really cool opportunity, and especially to work alongside, to be in a group with Autumn, the trainer. So because of my experience, I was able to have insight that I really feel like you can't get from just reading through the meal plan. And I'm not sure if Jen McNeil is going to show up. If she's here, she let me know. Jen McNeil is another coach on our team who also went through the program, the test group. So we've been sharing a lot of that, but I know a lot of you guys are new to even your coach. Maybe this is your first thing that you've done with them. So I hope to share some insight that wasn't in the materials that have been provided to you so far. I will say, be sure to read through those. If you have questions and you haven't read that, most of your questions are probably in there. But if you have read through it, that's what this is here for. This is for questions, and I just have some insight that I feel like I want to help you guys. And I took so many notes that I want to make sure that I touch base on. I'm going to try to keep my eye on the chat window. Anybody can help me. Coaches, please help me. Coaches, help answer questions if you can, or help, you guys got my back, right? Anyway, this team is large, and it looks like there's more and more numbers popping on. I want to say this Zoom only holds 100 people. So people will get, way to be here early off, because I think it'll just, if it hits 100, you just can't log in. But of course, this recording is going to be available to you. So take notes, because I know you've already been consuming a lot of information. You've been reading, and it sounds like a lot. What I say may or may not actually sink in, but you might remember that you heard something about it. So definitely take some notes. But this is usually our team call time. This is when our team usually meets on Tuesday nights to talk about coaching and the business side and trainings and stuff like that. But I thought it was really important to use this time for all of us, because as coaches, our number one job is our own journey. So you guys kind of got into the inner circle tonight, because I just felt like this is more important than anything than a training on our team. I just feel like this is an incredible program. I've been doing this for 4.5 years. For those of you who don't know, I have a fitness background. I'm a personal trainer, group fitness instructor. I know fitness and nutrition fairly well. I know super expert, but it's my background. And this program changed so much for me. And it wasn't just the physical, but I definitely got the best body of my life, and I'm 37 years old. So that's awesome in and of itself, but it just changed my relationship with food. I just feel kind of badass now. I mean, that's just going to say it. I mean, it brought a lot of confidence in me, and I'm just pretty passionate about, helping people get what I got. I just want so many people to feel what I feel. And, that's why I was kind of like rallying to get people here. So, oh gosh, lots of stuff to get through. Thanks, Molly. Okay. So I said, please be sure to read everything. What we as coaches really want for you is for you to become, empowered for your own journey. So that's why we might direct you to resources we might have the answers to, not because we don't have time for you or, whatever, but as coaches, our role is to help you to take charge of your journey, to be empowered, to feel confidence that you can do this. So we're going to direct you to those resources first. So be sure to take advantage of what's available to you. We're going to provide some sample meal plans. We're not going to like draft you a meal plan for every week, but we want to give you some kind of inspiration to kind of get started. But like your goal ultimately is to like be able to meal plan yourself. It's going to take some time to get there. But that's what our role as coaches is, for you to be able to feel like I got this, not like, oh, my coach is so amazing, she's so just awesome, and that's why I've had all these results. We want you to be like, no, like I did this, I crushed this. Thanks, Chelsea, for being there for me, but I'm a badass. Not like, so you'll see that that's kind of how, Team Phoenix does it. We want you to feel like, man, I'm the hero of my story. So there's resources available to you, obviously on BOD, the file section of your group. Everyone here is going to be not all in the same group. There's just too many people between all of the coaches, and I have a group with some of my team, and other coaches have. You're all going to be in different groups, but we are sharing resources. So you'll probably all have access to the same resources. So there's going to be a file section. Maybe there's even albums in your group. Just be sure to know what you have available to you to access, because you might find some real awesome gems up in there. So if you haven't navigated that, that's definitely something you'll want to do. So if I only had like 5 minutes to talk to you tonight, this is what I would say. Fortunately, we have more time. If I only had 5 minutes and someone had said, if you just had a moment, what would you say? And that's trust the process. Okay. A lot of what I'm going to share is going to be along those lines, is to trust the process. It is going to confuse you sometimes, maybe. It is going to maybe seem counterintuitive sometimes. You're going to doubt, perhaps, that this is working. Maybe you've done your calorie calculation and you're like, holy crap, this is a lot of food. There's no way. Maybe you've done fasted workouts your entire life, and it's just like your mind is just like, you can't even handle the idea of like, eating before your workout. I know some of these things are going to challenge you. I just encourage you to trust the process before, like, well, this is the way I've always done it, or this is what works for me. Sometimes you don't really know what works for me. I thought fasted nutrition worked for me until I actually did timed nutrition for a matter of a couple of weeks. I was like, oh my gosh, I have all this energy. Oh my gosh, this food actually digested. It doesn't just sit on my stomach. It just took my body time to be on a schedule that was eating 2-3 hours plus like crushing a workout that like was challenging my muscles. Your body is going to be trained like an athlete, and your muscles are going to be challenged like an athlete, and your body's going to need that kind of fuel, and it's going to need it before your workout. Otherwise, it's going to eat from that muscle. I thought that I had to weight to lose because I had a little chub around my midsection, and so I thought I should be in the weight loss category and not maintenance. So if you have done your calculation and you are maybe 5 to 10 pounds within what you consider to be your weight loss goal, I want to challenge you. No, I don't want to challenge you. Autumn would say you're likely not supposed to be in weight loss, even though you see fat you want to lose. It does not mean weight unnecessarily. So you will lose fat in the maintenance plan, but you gotta, what we're gonna start to do is kind of shift your understanding of weight in this. That is one of the things that I think most of the people struggle with. And we were all coaches. A lot of these coaches have been around for years, and they still were pushing back on Autumn with this whole thing. You know, they were like, I don't understand, like, but don't you see this, like, I have muffin top, and don't you see, like, there's definite, and she's like, I know what I'm doing. I've been training, I've been in figure competitions. I've trained figure competitors. This is legit. Like, if you're training like this, you have to eat a certain amount. And if you're in a healthy body weight in terms of the number, if you don't eat enough, if you go down to a bracket, you will not gain the muscle that you're looking to keep the metabolism up, to burn the fat. You're likely going to stay kind of where you might lose weight, but it's not going to be pretty weight. It's going to be, you know what I mean? A smaller version of what you're at, but not peeling away the fat. Those muscles require that fuel to create the metabolism that we're looking for and to create that sculpted look. For example, if you look at, you probably, maybe not all of you have seen my photos. I had, if you were to see me, I wasn't fat, but I had weight that you could see that I could lose. My weight stayed the same, but I got ripped. I just got shredded. But before I had, like, there was a little, whatever spilling over. So remove the scale from, like, you're going to use it in the beginning. You need to measure. It's a tool. Definitely use it. I'm going to challenge you scale addicts to put it in the closet until check-in day, until whenever your coach says that's when you guys are weighing in. I stopped. I just did it every 2 weeks. Don't do it daily. Like, that's the worst thing you can do. That will mess with your mind. It really will. You will likely, I'm just going to put this out there, a lot of you will likely gain weight in the first couple of weeks. That weight does not mean fat. That weight, typically in the beginning of a strength training program, is going to be inflammation. It's going to be water retention, because what happens is your muscles are like, there's a little breakdown when you lift weights. Your body, it grabs water to kind of soothe the inflammation. And so it will put on weight that changes how your gravity on the scale is, but it's not fat. And you guys know hormones, your wherever your cycle is in the middle of it, you guys know this in your head, but you still get on the scale, right? And you let it mess with your head. Just remove it. Also, comparison. You're going to have people sharing non-scale victories all the time and scale victories. And you're going to wonder, why am I not having this? This is your journey. Start where you are and finish what you start. Okay? You've got to celebrate everybody around you, but recognize that you're just going to look very different, and that's okay. Trust the process. That being said, Autumn says, this is not a perfect formula. When you're doing a mass marketed program, you have to create a formula that suits the masses. Okay, obviously there's going to be variations in people, but she says you must trust this for at least 2 weeks before you can really even make the decision that it's not working. And then what does not working mean? Because the scale isn't always the indicator. There's measurements and there's photographs. It's how you feel. Obviously some people, they have certain foods cause inflammation. For me, I followed the vegan plan, and I was eating so much more than I was used to. I found I got really bloated and gassy for a couple weeks, and I was not so sure, but I was trusting her. And it's just, guess what? Your body is smart. We create enzymes to break down foods. And if you're adding new foods that are different or more, your body will take time to develop those enzymes to break it down. And I found myself feeling, like, puffy in the midsection. And it was like I woke up after 2 weeks. It was so fun. It was right around that mark where I woke up and I was looking in the mirror like, oh, hey, obliques, there you are. It's been a while. But, like, I was feeling all puffy for a while. But it's just your body takes time to adjust. Because then she says this, guys, the brackets, if you look at them, there's 300 calories really difference in between them. That's not very much. So if you're like, oh my gosh, I'm like 2 calories into bracket C, I should probably back down. it's not that, she's like, it's not that big a deal. You know, you're not going to gain 5 pounds because you're in the wrong bracket. So you're not going way off course by following, because that's what I was afraid of. I said, oh, but I'm 5'1", I'm 110 pounds, I'm petite. I'm thinking, oh, there's no way I should be in C bracket. If anything, I should be in the lightest bracket because I'm already little. And she's like, no, she was barked at me. She's like, just do the formula, it works, trust it. So I was doing A for 2 weeks and I didn't know. And then of course, as soon as I switched over, boom, there comes, not as soon, it took a couple weeks, it changed. So I encourage you, even if you have doubt, just stick it out 2 weeks and then reassess, talk to your coach, and then maybe, you know, adjust the brackets. Breastfeeding, if you're breastfeeding, bump up a bracket. Do the formula, bump up a bracket. Molly's in bracket D, see? And she's not afraid. You ain't scared, are you, Molly? All the food. Come on. I know, it's scary. But when you're crushing the workouts, you're going to need it. Another note. I know I'm pouring a lot at you guys and fast, but I want to fit it all in because I may not have a chance to talk to all of you again. I have my group, and if you guys want to do this again, we can maybe after phase 1. But I'm just so excited. Like, I want everyone to have such amazing experience. Weights, guys. I know you guys are getting your hands on the free weights or whatever, adjustable weights. How Lisa says she doesn't own a scale. How important is weighing? I don't think it's important at all, really, Lisa. It's a good tool. It's kind of nice to have that, like, to know. I kind of enjoyed, I think it's pretty cool that I knew that I weighed like 110, 111. And then at the end of 80 days, I weighed the same. I think it's kind of cool to know that, knowing that if you look at my pictures, it's like a different, like a different midsection. It's crazy. So I was like knowing that, but if you don't have one, I wouldn't say go buy one. I mean, but definitely get some measuring tape. Definitely, guys, you have to take pictures and you have to make sure you're going to want this. You're going to be mad at yourself. It's like, oh, I'm just going to do a little like sports bra and these like baggy sweatpants. You're going to want to know, like, you're going to want to see everything. I know you might not like it now, but you're going to be so mad at yourself when you're like, you've had insane progress, but you can't really look back and see where you started. So I know it might be uncomfortable now, but do it. Okay. I lost track. I was talking about weights. If you don't have heavy enough weights, do your best to get your hands on them. And what do I mean by heavy enough? So each week in each phase, they change up the number of reps. Okay, so it's the same moves. So like booty day in the first phase, I forget, is it on Monday? I forget. Yeah, I think Monday's booty day. It's the same exercises, but you're doing them in a different number of reps and different sets. And what you can do when you're doing live workouts or consecutive workouts like this is you can do periodization, which you can't do with just like, let's just do the same booty workout every week. So periodization allows you to do that, to gain strength quickly. If you're getting to the end of your set and you could do a couple more reps with those weights, they're not heavy enough. I know a lot of you still struggle with this. I know I'm hearing, oh, I have a 5s and 8s. I'm just saying, like, I don't know where your strength is at right now. Like, maybe you're a beginner and that might be okay. Most of you, I'm thinking that's not going to be enough. And you're likely going to need to go to the store or figure out like how to get your hands on heavier weights. If you're not, soreness isn't an indicator. That's not a good indicator of whether it's enough weights. Because I had someone say, I'm not sore when I do these. That's not a good indicator. The indicator is if you can do more in that set. Okay, so the first set I want to say, or the first week, it's like 10 40x10s or something. Is it that? Or 15s? Whatever it is. If you're getting to number 15, you're like, I could do a couple more. Next time I'm picking up something heavier. You want to be struggling on your last reps. That's what I mean by crushing it. And that's what sculpts those pretty muscles. Anybody afraid of getting big? Does anybody still believe that anymore? Just making sure. I want to know. That's not a thing. Okay. Unless you're like taking some hormones and supplementing with some crazy stuff, none of y'all are going to get that beastly. Some of y'all might want to. I don't know. But that's just not how we're not made that way. You need a lot of testosterone for that to happen. We just don't have it, most of us. So, okay. Woo, lots of stuff. I'm trying to, someone is saying, oh, let me see. Oh, I'm missing some good stuff over here. Where we need to send our info, pictures, measurements, that kind of stuff, guys. That's going to be more specific to your coaches group. So I'm going to be talking about the program because I don't know which group you're in, and some coaches might do things differently. They might have different requirements. Like I'm going to have a form to send out for my people to send their measurements. Your coach might just want you to email it to them. I don't know how that's going to look in your group. So I'm specifically just talking to the program. So I don't really know. You might want to talk to your coach about that. Danielle says, I was worried about being in plan A and not being enough food. I'm already hungry doing ALO and couldn't imagine an hour workout in the same bracket. Likely, Danielle, yeah, that's not enough for you. Kimber is petite and weighs 100 pounds. She teaches 15 classes a week. Holy crap. 1,500 classes a disc. No, you should definitely not be doing. You shouldn't be in weight loss, first of all. I mean, I'm assuming, yeah, you shouldn't be in weight loss. You should be definitely in maintenance. And if you're adding classes on top of that, you need to bump up your bracket anyway. This formula is measuring if you were doing these workouts alone. For those of you adding on like marathon training, like you're crazy, first of all. But I don't know, you can be crazy. You do you. You need to add food. It's not gonna, oh, I'll just lose more weight. No, you won't. You'll lose muscle. And you'll be fatigued and you'll probably injure yourself. So Kimber, you're gonna need to be eating whatever your maintenance is. And you're teaching 15 classes. I don't know like what level you're teaching them. Like I'm an instructor too, but like I don't always teach them. Like I kind of talk through some of them. Depends on like what activity you're gonna need more fuel. It's just, you're gonna, yeah, that's just real. Molly says 6, 12, 25. You'll probably be fine for a while. You're probably gonna like desire something in between 12 and 25 because that's a big gap. You might desire something in between 6 and 12. You know, it might be, but I think you're gonna be a great start for sure. But yeah, it's a big gap between 20 and 25. Big girl weights, that's right. You're gonna feel pretty awesome when you're picking up something heavier. Any tips on keeping your arms from hurting, lifting so heavy for legs or wrists? That's a real challenge. Autumn, you'll see towards the phase 2 and 3, Autumn struggling with her grip as she got stronger, and that was a real thing. She didn't have much tips. She just said she would go down in weights. She would get tired. Her forearms would fatigue, and she would just change it up. Okay, any other questions I'm missing? Yes, Lawrence agreed with me. Lauren's another fitness instructor. Okay, my husband who's a coach bought the accessory pack for me. Can he transfer the invite to the group to me? I'm sure. Talk to your coach about that. Okay, the challengers asked if she's following the meals containers after your workout block the way she has it, or can you mix up the containers? Okay, yeah, I got to that part, but the way that the meal plan is set up, the workout block it's non-negotiable. Except for she does allow you to take your pre-workout meal and swap it out with meal 1. So that's an option. If the pre-workout meal is too much food for you, you can swap it out for meal 1. But the post-workout meal, the containers, those combinations are together for a reason. Every meal that you put in your mouth during this program has a real purpose. That's what I love about this program. Number 1, there's no guesswork. Yes, it's pretty specific. I don't consider it restrictive. I consider it like to give me peace because it takes all the guesswork out. But everything you put in your mouth it has a purpose. There's a reason for it. The combinations are there for a reason. So if you start mixing it up, then you're messing with the program. Is it going to make or break your results? Not that much. It's not going to be the end of the world. But it doesn't just impact your results. It might impact how you feel. You might be more hungry if you're moving containers around. You might not get the repair in muscles when you need it if you're moving things around because the protein is there. You know what I mean? That's when you're going to start messing around with it. It's not the end of the world, if you're meal windows get pushed beyond 2-3 hours, but you want to, obviously the ideal is to not. What is your go-to meal pre and post workout? Me, I don't have a go-to. I'll just change it up, whatever's in the fridge for my post. My pre is always the same because it's just easy. I want to get up and I want to get it in my belly quick. And that's, I do a protein shake just because it digests fast and it's quick. That's me. I strongly encourage those of you who are, going to be struggling with having an early morning workout and getting that meal in plenty of time. I encourage you to make sure you have something that's pre-made or pretty easy to throw together, like the egg muffins or hard-boiled eggs are already peeled. Protein shake you can just throw together. You might need to play around with something if you're not used to this and your body is slow to digest it and it's uncomfortable. You might need to mess around so you can find what's the most comfortable. But by that time, I believe your body is going to be utilizing that fuel so efficiently, you won't feel as uncomfortable as you will in the beginning. I think people are going to struggle with that for sure. I do in the beginning, and they're going to have a hard time, and they're going to hate life. But you're going to be a machine. You're going to be a machine. It's a matter of time before you're just busting through that fuel, and you won't even need an alarm on your phone to tell you it's mealtime. You're going to be like, my body is telling me it's time to eat. So much to say. That was a tip that I wanted to share. Use your alarms on your phone to make sure that you're not letting too much time go in between meals. It's going to be easy in the beginning, especially when your body's not quite on that metabolized monster. Use that. Autumn would tell us, do not leave the house with at least 2 meals. I think she said 1 meal in that video and that she put in the group or on BOD, but she told us 2. And so I listened, and I'm so grateful that I did, because there'd be plenty of times that I think I'd be home and I would be struggling. So I know this is going to be tough. I know this is going to be a challenge for a lot of you who have busy lifestyles. But can I just challenge you to this 3-month intensive? Here are the thoughts that are going to go through your head. I can't live this way for the rest of my life, so I might as well not even try now. You know what? I'm not it's not that worth it to be skinny. This won't really mess with my results that much. Ignore all that stuff. This is not about any of that. Make this 3-month intensive about your personal and emotional journey. Make it about challenging yourself to do hard things. Make it about challenging yourself to see what you're made of. Make it about challenging yourself to see what is possible. And then you can think about what happens beyond month 3. And you might be surprised at what you actually adopt as a lifestyle. But during it, you're going to have some, these thoughts. Don't let any of those things influence the decision that you make coming in. You might have to talk to your family, your spouse, anybody close to you, say, hey, can I get your support? This is going to be a little challenging. I might be a little annoying sometimes when I'm making my meals and we have to leave or whatever. I'm just from personal experience. I'd be like, oh my gosh, it's time for us to go. And I'm sitting here sorry, got to make some meals. But my husband knew going in, this is important to me. I know it might be a little bit of a sacrifice to make these adjustments in our house but I really need this for me. Can I ask for your support? I really encourage you guys to do that, to talk to the people around you who this might influence or impact. Can I have your support? Will you not bring a freaking pizza pie home every Friday night when I'm trying to do this? Will you not try to, buy me a beer and, oh, it's not that big a deal. Still, can you please just, this is what I want. Is that okay? Can I ask that of you? I think that's a really important thing to do to those people that are around you who might be not loving it, because it makes them feel a little bit like maybe I should be doing something. And you know how people can get defensive, but I think if you come to them first and let them know this is important to you, it goes a long way. Okay. We talked about morning nutrition. Don't knock the crazy runners. Y'all crazy. I'm just saying it. I love you. Crazy is the new black. I'm a fan of crazy. I'm my own crazy. So check your form. Okay. Anything I'm missing? After the workout block. Yes, Cami. you have your like supplement recover right after within those 30 minutes, and then the workout block. Yes, it has to come within the hour or two after the workout. I am on the border of the brackets. Should I bump up? Sarah, what does the border mean? Is it $1,499 or $1,500? Then it's not a border. It's whichever one. I mean, every number is within a bracket. So whatever it is, she said, I mean, she is cut and dry. She's like, if you're 1301, you're in that bracket. Because I would want to back out. She's like, no, I know what I'm doing, Megan. I'm like, all right. So I would say whatever that number lands in, you go with it, and then you assess later. There will be meal plans, guys. It's coming. Would you not recommend Shakeology then, since you did a protein shake for the morning? It doesn't. You can do Shakeology after your workout too, if you want. If you want to have 2 shakes in a row. I did a protein shake. I don't mind having 2 shakes because it was a lot more food than I was eating anyway. It was so hard to come up with that many reds. So it doesn't matter what that red is. Shake's fine. Oh my gosh, there's 52 messages. I can't get through all of these. Yes, I'm speaking of a different one, Mary, because so Mary asked if I'm speaking about a different protein shake than Shakeology. Yes, I love my Shakeology so much that I don't want to drink it when I'm half asleep. So I drink a shake that it's just a shake. It's a good shake, high quality, like protein. It's just not Shakeology. It doesn't have all the nutrition that Shakeology does. It have the enzymes, the probiotics, the prebiotics, the superfoods. And I just love Shakeology and the way it tastes. So I don't want to drink it when I'm like not really aware of what's going on in life. So I just get something that I know is good for my body, and enjoy my shake later when I desire it. I'm planning on doing this plan without using supplements. Is that a question? Not sure. Okay, I'm gonna look at the questions on my sheet, and if anything is really urgent in there, somebody unmute. But I have ones that people had already sent. So please feel free to chime in, coaches, that a good question is there. You guys probably can identify a good solid question that's not addressed. I would appreciate your help. Alarms on your phone. I think I covered all of that stuff on the tips on the plan. Okay, you're gonna see something called refeed day. I don't want to go too much into it now because Autumn didn't want to. She wants to kind of wait for you guys to get through this, but I don't know if we'll do this again. You'll see something called supplemental yellows. This is optional. You don't have to do refeed day. Let me just kind of touch on it a little bit without going too much into it, because she's gonna educate on this. Refeed day is an opportunity to replenish the glycogen in your muscles. You're going to deplete it after a while. This isn't like a low carb plan, but it's moderate. But this program is so demanding. The workouts are so demanding. You will start to deplete your glycogen in your muscles. And what can happen if you do that for too long is that your leptin levels will decrease or increase, whichever. It messes with the hormones that tell your body it's hungry, and it can actually make your metabolism go down. Your body wants to regulate. It's smart. It wants to keep you from starving. So it's going to start to, mess around with, how fast it burns through fuel. And that's problematic. The people who restrict for so long, then they have this big, they gain so much weight back. And bigger competitors use this. They shock the muscles and they refuel the muscles with a refeed. And basically it boosts, it's more food, it's more calories for that one day. And they don't introduce this for 6 weeks, okay? We wanna take time to deplete the muscles, and it comes back on that sixth week, and then it's every 2 weeks after. It's specific, she tells you exactly how to do it. It still has to stay low fat or moderate fat. But you're not only increasing carbohydrate, you're increasing the type of carbohydrate. It's more refined carbohydrates. The things that are not good for you, or what we think aren't good for us, white breads, white pastas. There's a day when you're actually doing it on purpose, and a lot of it. And it seems counterintuitive, but what happens is because it's fast acting. Refined carbohydrates go to the muscles faster. They don't break down as slow as complex carbohydrates. We want slow acting carbohydrates. It helps us to have sustained energy, right? We don't want sugar rushes. Well, you kind of get this big rush of fuel into your muscles, and the next day is always leg day. She times it before leg day so you can crush leg day and burn through a lot of that fuel. But this keeps your body like a machine and not dripping in metabolism. This is a like advanced thing that no one's ever done with like this kind of program. I mention it for this reason, because I don't think it's important for you to know yet. Honestly, we didn't know. Guys, we got our meal plan 2 days before we started. So you guys have everything that you need right now. We had 2 days, and then she was just like, y'all wait for me to tell you what to do. We just trusted her, thank God. But I'm telling you this because I think this will be helpful. I really strongly encourage you to go all in with nutrition, meaning 100%. I've never done that myself until this program because I don't believe in that kind of lifestyle. I don't want you to think this is a lifestyle. This isn't. That 6th week, knowing I had that refeed day, I think made this mentally easier to, like, I knew I was going to have a day where I could have whatever, a treat. People got so excited about having 2 yellows in a meal and they could be like white bread. They have a big fat burger and they just could not wait for refeed day. I was just happy to have a whole banana in my shake because like a purple is 1/2 banana. I think mentally knowing that's there helps you to get through the 6 weeks. And then you get to that day and you know what happens. You're like, oh my gosh, I don't even really want it that bad. I want to know that I can have it. But once you have it, it's kind of fun, the first few yellows. And then you're like, you know what? Like, this doesn't make me feel that good. And it's crazy. I couldn't believe it that I wasn't even looking forward to refeed day anymore. But it's there for a reason. Those of you who have eating disorder issues, I will caution you. If that sounds like a trigger for you, don't have to do it, okay? It's okay. It's optional. It works. However, if you still have eating disorder triggers, it could be problematic. So just putting that out there. I had that in the past, and I have had programs that have triggered it, like years ago before I finished healing and whatever. So I get it, and Autumn gets it, and she just wants to we're putting that out there. You know, that's more important than like getting the best maximum results, right? So just putting that out there. If you don't already know this, the meal plan has, your workout block, and then the 4 meals, 3-4 meals. I think it depends on what bracket you're in. Those can be in any order. They don't have to be in meal like 1, 2, 3, and 4. Those can be mixed around your day, however you like, as long as they're 2 to 3 hours. So know that. And that's really helpful. Like, say, if you're going to go to a restaurant that day and you know how easy it is to find, say, a salad with a protein and a dressing, you know that that's easier to find in a restaurant. So you might position that's when you're going to have that meal during that time. So keep that in mind. You're able to, that's pretty flexible. Another thing that Autumn is really stresses is self-care. Moms, make it happen. All right. Like women make it happen, but I know moms tend to be like, we think it's frivolous. You have to make self-care a priority. If you can get massages monthly, and not everyone can, make that happen. Epsom salt baths, foam roller, get a foam roller, foam rolling your muscles. Autumn has a video that she'll have on Sundays, alternating stretching and foam rolling those muscles. Anything that just makes you feel good and relaxed. Self-care is huge when you're making these kind of demands on your body. I mean, she was like in our faces about it. She's like, this is not a recommendation. This is not nice because I like you. This is, you have to, or you might impact your results. Your body can continue to repair and grow if it's not getting replenished. And so whatever you can make happen, schedule it out. Schedule whenever you're going shopping. Whenever that shopping day is. I know a lot of you have been in groups and this is all like review, but some of you are new. Put that on your calendar. It has to be a date with yourself. Shopping day has to happen because you cannot eat this way and not meal prep. It's just, it is pretty specific. You obviously schedule that meal prep day. I won't go into a whole bunch of meal prep tips because probably your groups have all that kind of stuff, but it's pretty simple to bake up a big batch of sweet potatoes and a big batch of like, baked chicken. And for me, I would even like roast up vegetables for the week, steam up vegetables for the week, put them in containers and just whatever. So it's pretty easy to do a lot of that stuff. Traveling, make sure you get a big soft cooler and you tote that sucker around. Thinking about hotels that have fridges and gyms in them, or at least where you can get access to one. I went to London and did this, packed a cooler, made sure I had an apartment that had, what I needed there, and I would go to the gym, or I would do Amazon Prime for groceries. These are all things you can do. They might seem like that's, extreme, but it's not really. If you really take some time to plan, it's really possible. Okay, what are the things that I want to talk about? Someone asked me about refeed day and being gluten-free. There should be no problem. There's lots of supplemental yellows that are not grains, or not wheat. So that should be no problem. You might have more limited options, but I think that's not a problem. Performance line. So I know in my group, everyone either has Shakeology or the Performance line, and some got both. It's ideal to have both. If I had to pick one, it'd be Shakeology, just because of the nutrition is so dense, and when you're making these kind of demands of your body, nutrients are everything. However, when you're making these kind of demands in your body, supplements are very valuable for keeping you from being sore and repairing your muscles quickly. So if you're starting to get really sore and you're not using Performance line, just know that that's probably that next step for you. The Performance line is all natural, and it has like the Recover formula has branched chain amino acids, natural anti-inflammatory, which is pomegranate extract. It's low calorie, tastes delicious. Both flavors do. And the Energize, I cannot live without my Energize. So I don't know how anybody can do these workouts with Energize, quite honestly. If you're new to Energize, guys, don't be afraid when you start tingling. It's normal. So you're not allergic to it. That's normal. So just consider the Performance line. There are others that you may not know about because they didn't come in the bundles. Hydrate is it's a hydrating drink to use like during your workout. It has electrolytes, and it's delicious. That's a great one, and helps you get through your workouts. Something that Energize does too, if you don't know this, is it helps reduce lactic acid buildup, which makes you go longer in your workouts. Recharge. If you're still sore and you're using Recover, get the Recharge. That's a supplement you drink at night. Cool thing about these supplements is they're free, meaning if you drink them at the right times, they don't count towards any containers.
Yeah.
Hi, someone said something. Did someone have something to say? Or was that a mistake? Okay. Okay. Anything else that I'm missing on? I think I got through most of what I wanted to talk about, except for I had a couple more questions on my phone that I jotted down. Breastfeeding, we talked about that. Someone asked about, shift work and the teaspoon container. So I think it was Stephanie Munding in my group. She had, was it Stephanie or was it I don't know who it was. But I guess her schedule is such where her shifts are all over the place, and some span like the evening and overnight. And then she has like stretches where she's awake longer, like over, like 20 hours or something like that. And she was trying to figure out, I would say you definitely do want to add a couple meals. I think we should probably talk about that one-on-one, what that should look like, because you don't want to be awake and not having meals. I think it's one of those things we'll probably need to talk about more one-to-one, because it's just a unique situation. When I traveled to London, this was an issue because obviously there's 5 hours time difference. And so there was a day where my day was that much longer, 5 hours longer. And so I was hungry. My metabolism at that point was like going. So I did kind of add a little meal just to I felt like that was the best thing. But of course, then I lost that time, and I kind of backed off a meal. Those kind of things every so often aren't that big a deal. Teaspoon. someone was asking if only the things that go in the teaspoons can be teaspoons, or if like other things can be teaspoons. It's legit just a teaspoon of peanut butter or almond butter or olive oil or whatever, with the exception of stuff like the almond milk. Again, that's all in the meal plan, so you can look that up. But if you want to use almond milk, say in your shake, I think 8 ounces counts as a teaspoon. Again, check your meal plan for that. Me, I'm not going to waste a teaspoon on almond milk. I want my peanut butter or almond butter. But that's the thing. It's your call. Like, it's your, you decide what you like to eat. So that's totally up to you. Anything else I wanted to say? Oh, Beachbody Challenge. Make sure you guys are submitting your photos to the Beachbody Challenge. They give you a free shirt when you finish. Okay? He likes free swag. I like free swag. But the better thing you can get is money, because they select winners every week for like five people on our team have gotten money, $500 just for submitting their pictures. And then if you get like to the next round, $1,000, then it's like more 10,000. And then there's a big grand prize winner at the end of the year. Like a one grand prize winner gets like $100,000. Enter the Beachbody Challenge. I want everybody to enter their results in the Beachbody Challenge. Here's just some tips from me. Take videos and photos along the way, not just check-ins. It's really fun to see the comparison of some of these moves in the beginning and then how strong you get in the end. There's one cardio move, it's like a donkey kick thing, that I looked like I just felt like so heavy on it. I was just not very agile. I was clumsy in the beginning. And then it was so cool to see at the end, like looking like a little like jumping bean. Those are the kind of things that motivate you, I think. So I just encourage you to really document and journal this journey. Some people are even going so far, like as coaches, we've chosen to share our journey publicly as a way to help inspire people. That might not be where you're not a coach, and that might not be your thing. That's cool. But I do know some people who aren't coaches, they just feel like it's about accountability. So putting it out there that I'm doing this program helps them to stick to it. So if that's something you're brave enough to do, go for it. Like, that's a great idea. And just think about who you can inspire. Even if you don't want to be a coach like us, like how awesome would it be to like let your journey inspire others? But like I shared mine and it just kept me so accountable. So maybe you want to do something like that, but at least for yourself, document these things because it's a really awesome experience and you're going to want to look back and see that. So any coaches that are monitoring this over here for me, see any questions that are really like, I don't want to be missing anything good, but I also don't want to sit here and read while you're watching me because that's lame.
Megan, everyone's asking what you used instead of Recover.
I didn't use anything instead of Recover, and I wished I had Recover. I wished I did the vegan plan, so I didn't use Recover is whey based, so that's dairy, and I didn't. And I felt it. Like I was sore, and I feel like I wouldn't have been as sore as I had if I had Recover. So,
what did you use for your after workout meal options then in place of Recover?
I usually used Shakeology. Love that. But I just I waited. I waited to, the right time, but like I used Shakeology because that's what that was one of the vegan options. At that point I was awake and I could put fruit in it. I think I was allowed to have a purple and a red at that time. And so, because that was the other reason. I wanted to have a Shakeology with fruit if I could. And I had to be a meal that had a red and a purple together. So that's when I would do it. But if you're using Recover, if you're not like lactose intolerant, whatever, you use that Recover because it's magical. Any other good questions that I should? There's a lot. It shows 107 messages on my side, so I literally would be sitting here while you guys watch me read. So if you guys see anything good that you think would be, did she purposely leave out some carbs and fats that's under the normal portion fix. I eat a whole wheat waffle under carbs and butter for fat. I don't know. I'm not sure about that. Any other questions, guys? Do you feel like I like glazed over? You want me to expand on? You think is really nothing? Who's excited? Who's scared? Yeah, that's okay. I think it's okay to be scared. I think that's a good thing to be scared. I think it's a good thing because it means you're about to do something you've never done. That's exciting to know that you're about to take on something you never had before. Like you're gonna get incredible results. You're gonna have doubt, but you're gonna push through it. You're gonna get something you never had because you're gonna do something you've never done, and it's gonna be amazing. So it's okay to be afraid. Y'all don't have any other questions? Come on. Or any questions that you're like, maybe I should know this, but I feel stupid asking. Let it rip. It's kind of confusing. There's a lot of information.
Hey, Megan.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
I don't know. So I know you used the Shakeology and then used another protein shake on top of that. Mm-hmm. Is there a specific one that you suggest us looking at? Because I don't want to get a junky one.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to like get in the business of recommending other like I think you want to be able to look at a label and identify what's good and what's not. And
okay.
I would say you want to make sure is that there's no artificial sweeteners, colors, or flavors. And a lot of them, to make them taste good, they have all those things. Like if something is cookies and cream shake, what in nature tastes like cookies and cream? You know, like the Quest bars, it's like, yeah, they taste delicious because they're fake food. You know, I would just say, you know, keep an eye out for any of that stuff.
Okay.
You know, keep it pretty simple. I use Vega. I've heard Orgain is really good in terms of like the quality. I think Arbonne is a really solid protein shake. I think, and it has a few superfoods in it. I think the Vega that I use has a few superfoods in it, like, you know, a couple, which is great. Obviously it doesn't have like 70 for like everything else for my Shakeology, but yeah, I would just say take a good look at the label and just make sure the quality is there. Good question. These are good questions. I like these. Things you can't find in the. Did someone say something?
I have a question, Megan.
Yeah.
So I teach and I have like a 3-hour span where I have literally only 10 minutes in between classes, like probably over 3 hours. So what would you recommend for that? Because that's going to be like longer than the 2 to 3 hours she's saying. Like, should I split up one of my meals and have part of it like before and then part of it maybe like during that 10 minutes during, but I won't like have time to sit down and have a full entire meal in that time period?
Yeah, you might just want to make that meal whatever, like that's good when it's like a fast meal, whatever you can get through. But I mean, like it's a meal that maybe it's like a wrap that you've made that you can just at least half down. You know what I mean? It may not be like a salad that takes 30 minutes to chew.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because there are some meals like that just take a little more time to eat. But you might just want to like think about in that day, well, what's a pretty simple, have it in my head, grab it, like a wrap could be a good option. A protein shake, because it's just, you just whatever, mix it up and just drink it. I would say, yeah, do the best you can in that situation. Get through as much of that meal as you can, finish it when you're done, and it's fine. Yeah, I think that's like what, you know, Autumn is saying. I was like, just do the best you can within your current lifestyle. Oftentimes though, we like kid ourselves into what we are capable of though. Like we say, oh, that's just not realistic, when really we do have some time to prepare. But there are situations where you have, like you said, like if you have to work from a certain hour to a certain hour, there's not much you can do about it. But if you know you can get a little break in there and you have 10 minutes, well, I'm going to do the best I can. And then I'm going to be okay with that. So that's just the best you can do is all you can do, and you're going to still see amazing results. It's not going to be a deal breaker. So good question. Okay, we're going to have those situations for sure. Anything else? I'm looking.
Megan, I do have one quick question. So what did you find? Like, I know she provides like tracker sheets for you being able to track everything. Did you find that that was the best like way to track your food, even on the go, or what would you say?
That's a good question. I did not use that, and maybe I should have. I think it might be just personal what helps you organize yourself. Um,
Right.
yeah, I mean it's a tool, but maybe it doesn't work for you. Some people like spreadsheets. Some people have like Stacia has a cute little whiteboard on her in her kitchen. Um, 21 Day Fix has apps. I don't know if they're going to do anything like that, like something you can track on your phone. So yeah, that's a good question. I think it's trial and error for you. I don't have, I'm not an organized kind of person.
Okay.
So I don't feel like I'm qualified to give you my best good advice. Perhaps some of these ladies over here in the chat window can give you better advice. There's much more orderly minded coaches that you can listen to on that topic. Good question. Oh, Martha says you can change the 21 Day Fix app to fit the containers you need. There you go. So,
Oh, that's great.
so Martha, do you just look up 21 Day Fix app? Is that just that's just look up 21 Day Fix and it shows up in the app store, I'm assuming.
It's the one that's the Beachbody app is the one you use, and you can enter in you can calculate your bracket, and then once you get that, you can change the containers within your bracket. You just go to edit, and you should be able to change, like increase or decrease based on I did it for Shift Shop. I used it for Shift Shop, even though they weren't exactly the same.
Cool.
That only works for an iPhone. If you do have an Android, there's one called Divide and Conquer. That's basically the same idea. It's just you can't do the actual Beachbody official 21 Day Fix for if you have an Android. I'll type that in the comments over here, but it's called Divide and Conquer for an Android.
Good stuff.
There was a question over here in the chat, and also someone in my group had it too. If you miss a workout day for whatever reason, do you jump back in at the day you missed, or you skip the day?
I think Autumn would say you don't skip the day. You would just do that next workout. I know there are a couple of days that would happen. Like I planned for my workout and whatever emergency stuff happened, but it only happened like once within the week, so I could just take it would just be my rest day that week. So that's what you would likely do is say like Wednesday something happened, whatever. I'm going to do Wednesday's workout Thursday, bump Thursdays, and then I just don't have to take that rest day on Sunday. That would be the best case scenario for sure. Obviously we're gonna set ourselves up for success before we get started. We're going to be scheduling our workouts like their appointments, like they cannot be missed. But emergencies happen, kids get crazy sick, whatever, things happen, and then you can make those kind of adjustments. But yeah, good question. I've had this question a lot. You don't have to work out at the same time. That's not that's work out whenever you want. I have the question about, oh gosh, like if I do weight loss, I'm in A, but if I do maintenance, I'm in C. Maybe I should just split the middle. Don't follow, just follow the formula. I know it seems counterintuitive, but I really think I've covered everything. Except, oh gosh.
I have a quick question.
Yeah.
I just have a quick question. So I work as a 911 dispatcher, so it's really hard for me to know that I'm going to have a break at a certain time. And that's also really hard for me. I have some 8-hour turnarounds, so I'll work until 6 a.m. and then go back in at 2 p.m. So it's really hard to get sleep and workout in that 8 hours. So that happens on a Saturday. Can I switch my rest day to a Saturday? Like, is that going to be a huge offset, or can I switch that around?
I mean, I think that's a reasonable thing to do if that's the situation. I think that's totally fine. I mean, like, I think it'd be ideal to like bump if you're like able to move it so like your day one was on Sunday, so that you would be able to like have, but I don't think it's that big a deal. I think you're going to be fine because it's
Okay.
Saturday's workout is a cardio day. It's not like it's a heavy strength day. So Monday is strength. So at least you're doing like cardio, then strength, and not like booty day, then leg day, because that wouldn't make sense. So because it's cardio, and so I think it's little concern.
Okay. And the foam roller, I didn't notice, like, I noticed that Beachbody has 2 different sizes, but it doesn't specify which one is used on the program.
I don't know if they're called. Is it called 2 different things? Do you like?
They're both under the same foam roller, and then you just pick a size.
Oh.
So I didn't know.
Yeah, I don't know that much.
Okay.
I don't think it matters. Buy any foam roller. So yeah, guys, I have these things. Oh, I have it right here. You can do tennis ball. Okay, that if you have a tennis ball at home, just use that. But they're therapy balls, and they are amazing because your butt is gonna be so sore. There's so many tiny little muscles. Like there's so many layers. You know, your glutes are like there's lots of little muscles in there. And those bands work them in a way that you've never felt before. And this little sucker gets right in there where the foam roller can't as much because it's a broad surface that kind of, goes over the muscle. Those little trigger points, this is amazing. So if you have a tennis ball, like, use the sucker. So good. Don't miss those.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Don't miss the foam rolling and the stretching. It's going to be so critical. Ashley Martucci, she says tennis balls in the freezer. How about that? And lacrosse balls. Are the ALO and 80-day food lists supposed to be the same? Do you mean that like the foods that are allowed in the containers? Yes. The meal plans the ALO plan isn't comprehensive, so the same foods are allowed. They aren't the same, Charlene? You mean they're not allowed, the same foods aren't allowed? Or you just mean what I was saying is they're just different plans? I'm not sure if I answered that clearly.
Megan?
Oh, good question. Molly asks. Well, I think this was already answered. This is answered in the videos, Autumn's videos. But I think it has been missed because a couple people asked this. When are you recalculating? You're going to lose weight, likely. Well, not everyone will because it depends on your body. But after each phase is when you recalculate. Your weight might change during a month, but she says, you stay with the same formula for the phase, and phases are 4 weeks long. So after each phase is when you'll recalculate, and there's a different formula for phase 2 and 3. It's a different formula from phase 1. So you have to recalculate anyway, but when you lose weight, it's likely going to change your bracket. So just wait until then to recalculate.
Megan, real quick.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
I can.
About the food containers. The 2 lists are different.
So you mean like whatever foods are allowed in the cup?
Yes. So for example, the ALO has turkey bacon and the 80-day does not.
Okay. It's allowed. I know that.
Okay.
I know that specifically.
Okay.
Changes, I don't know, but I think that might have been an error.
Okay, good. Because I was having a conversation with another girl about it, and we need the bacon. So, yeah. Thanks.
Neil is the other coach that's in the test group. She asked in our test group because it was that same thing. We're like, I think she assumed the same as we all did, and then it was just an error, just an oversight or something.
Great, thank you.
Yeah. Crystal's asking, where is everyone finding the new food list? I didn't see it. That's all in the 80-day obsession. When you log into BOD, the program materials, it'll be under the eating plan. All right, guys.
Hey, Megan, I have a quick question, Megan. You may have answered this, but I teach too, so my workouts are going to be at night just because I already wake up early enough. So I'm just trying to put my times. Is it a huge deal that it has to be every 3 hours? Like if one interval is 2.5, or only because her afternoon plan gets you working out really late, which I don't want to work out that late and then eat dinner that late. So if there's a little plush in between of one interval's 2.5 hours? Like, is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine. That's a range. It doesn't matter if you have, 2 hours and then 3 hours the next time. It's just
Okay.
keep your metabolism not. And consider that those samples, they're completely they're samples. They're just to kind of show you if you happen to work out at this time, this is what it would look like. So,
Okay.
Rochelle is asking about deciding between maintenance and weight loss. There's not a hard and fast rule, but you generally know if your weight is not overweight. It's just, you have fat to lose. But if you talk about the number on the scale and your size and your frame, like your height, like for me, I'm 5'1", 5'2". If I'm 130 or 140, I have extra layers of fat. If I'm 140, I'm overweight. But somebody who's like 5'5", 5'6" at 140, they're gonna look very different. And they're, they may not have, because that could be lean for them. It just depends on their build. So it's tough because it's subjective, and like we have our own like weird relationships to numbers on the scale that may have no basis for anything, except for like there was a time we felt we looked awesome and they're like 18 years old and it had this number, and so we kind of associated with something that's good, and it's just silly. So it's not really, it's hard to say this, but if you think you have around 5 to 7, you're likely needing to be in maintenance. Or even 10 to 15 sometimes. Autumn we were having people who actually had a little bit of weight, but they still had to move up because it just wasn't enough for them to see results. You have to be able to tweak it, but you got to give it 2 weeks. So like start where you think, like use your good judgment, and then tweak after that, because there's no perfect way to go about it. So I would say start somewhere. I'm thinking too, from my personal assessment, but again, like my opinion is not like gold or it's not expert. For Rochelle, I would think you'd be in maintenance. I wouldn't think, oh yeah, no. I mean, that's my personal assessment is maintenance, just from looking at you. But again, I'm not wearing like a expert hat here. Just what Autumn shared. So yeah, you'll figure it out. Like it is tough to get used to eating that much. But I just say embrace it. Embrace this opportunity to take care of yourself. Embrace this opportunity to invest in yourself. Remember how much it's going to give back to the people around you. It might seem like it's a sacrifice right now, but it's going to bless people in your family when you're like feeling your best, when you're feeling energetic and you're no longer miserable and you're no longer whining about your weight or why you can't change. Like think of how this is going to change how you feel about yourself and then the world around you. So take these 3 months to figure it out, stumble through it a little bit. It might take a little trial and error in the first couple of weeks, but I just encourage you to make this yours. You invested the money, you invested the time. Make the best of it. Own it. Come to the end of this, and that you couldn't have done any better. I really think you're gonna be really surprised with what this opportunity can do for you in so many more ways than the physical. I could get a little more impassioned and fired up, but I know I've done enough of that. Yeah, I can't think of anything else I want to say, but
Megan, can I ask a quick question? This is Sue. I'm training for my walk in addition to trying to do 80-day obsession. Should I try to do the long walk that I do in my training on my rest day, or should I try to replace cardio with that, or what should I do?
Yeah, again, that's one of those that's tricky because it's not like I don't have like a textbook answer that I know that's the right thing to do. I do know that depending on how much you're walking, you're going to want to increase your nutrition. So I know that much, but I don't know that amount. Which day is best. Somebody who's more, I don't know. I don't have a good answer. I tend to think that we need a rest. I don't think how many miles are you talking about, like when you're training?
Normally our training is anywhere from 12 to 18 miles in a day.
Yeah. That's not a rest day. I think I'd rather see you do that during the week and actually have a rest day. And your nutrition, that's a lot of movement. So you're gonna be risking muscle. You know, you just will with that additional cardio. But that's okay. That's a priority to you, and that's just, you just know it. You just know that's what you're risking, and that's okay. But I definitely think about how you're gonna increase your nutrition on those training days for sure.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Take a rest day, Lawrence. Agreed. Beth Klein, in the test groups, were there any BMI obese folks? Absolutely. There were people who had a lot more weight to lose. And obviously weight loss is individualized, but were those folks seeing much weight loss or still seeing about the same weight on the scale? Not trying to focus on, yeah, okay, I hear you. If you know you actually have, considerable weight to lose, you still want to know that the scale's going to move. I get that. There were definitely coaches who were considered to be in the obese range in the test group. And most of them lost weight. Most of them didn't lose as much weight as they thought they would. There's actually a coach who, like, her weight loss, it was really insignificant in terms, but she had like a lot of fat to lose. Her inches were like double digits, So yeah, you'll likely see faster moving scale. It just may not be as fast as you might expect when you're putting on this kind of muscle mass. And again, in the beginning, there's that inflammation that it's kind of a big flush in the beginning. So yeah, I would just say, if you're one of the who's attached to the scale, to like give yourself a challenge to not look at it for like at least 2 weeks. Good night, Chelsea. Yeah, guys, I think I've answered everything that's not answered already in the materials, unless somebody wants to like speak up. If I were to do maintenance and then I am in group D, if I do weight loss, I am. So what do you recommend? Is 1500, is that which is that, C or B? B, that's B. What if you're supposed to, if you're supposed to be in maintenance, do D. If you're supposed to be in weight loss, do B. Don't split the middle. I just don't know where you're at. If I don't know what that looks like for you. I don't know do you feel like you have weight? Yeah, like Charlene's, like I'm the same. If I were to do weight loss, I'd be A. If I were to do, then C. So I don't split it or anything. So I don't know, Carly, how much weight do you think you have to lose? I'm wanting to lose some weight, but I'm worried about muscle breakdown. What does some weight mean? Like a few pounds, 5? Because if that's the case, it's likely maintenance. If it's just, All right. All right, guys, thanks for being here. I hope this was helpful to you. If you feel like this is something that you might want to do at the, the beginning of the next phase, if you feel like there's more questions that we can do, then yeah, definitely. If it's 5 pounds, then I would say you're probably in maintenance. Please let me know. I hope that this is, I hope this is something you can take away. Like I said, I'm going to be providing resources to all of my team, so they'll have access to that, meal plans, etc. So just make sure that you reach out to your coach for any of that. All right, guys, have a great night. I'm so excited for you. I'm so excited to see your results. I'm so excited that you're trusting a Team Phoenix coach in your journey. We don't take it for granted. We think this is, we consider this to be a true honor and a privilege to lock arms with people on their journeys. So I just want to let you know and express that gratitude that we do appreciate it and we're excited for you. So have an awesome night and best of luck to you. Bye.